Have you ever felt exhausted for no apparent reason, despite not having done anything extraordinary during the day? That strange feeling of mental fatigue that doesn't go away even with sleep? A lack of motivation that doesn't improve with rest? An inner emptiness that nothing external can fill? Not successes, not pleasures, not distractions. And the worst part is that you sense something is wrong, but you can't quite put your finger on it. Outwardly, everything seems fine. Yet inwardly, you feel like you're only performing at 30% of your true potential, as if there were a stronger, more focused, more present version of yourself. But it's locked, inaccessible, dormant. This is the truth no one has told you. You are constantly losing energy without realizing it, through automatic habits, uncontrolled impulses, and the pursuit of instant gratification, which promises satisfaction, but only leaves you with a greater emptiness. This loss of energy weakens you, scatters your thoughts, and separates you from your true power. I'm not talking about morality, but about energetic physics. Within you resides an energy that the ancient masters called prana, kundalini or chi. The name is irrelevant. It is the fuel of your life, the source of your creativity, your concentration, your magnetic aura that captivates people as soon as you enter a room. And most people waste this energy every day. Every time you give in to unconscious impulses, you're not just losing a few minutes. You're wasting the very energy that could heal your body, empower your mind, boost your productivity, and give you a radiance that attracts everything you desire. This is the stark truth that modern society hides from you. Those who learn to conserve and use their vital energy purposefully master their environment effortlessly. They achieve extraordinary things, while others live on autopilot. They attract opportunities and deep relationships, while most settle for crumbs. This is no coincidence. It's not about genetics. It's about using your energy consciously. Scientific studies have already proven this. When you learn to conserve and use your vital energy effectively, your body completely reorganizes itself. Hormone levels are optimized. Neurotransmitters are balanced. Mental clarity increases dramatically. The brain and body reach a state of peak performance that most people never experience. But here lies the problem. You've been taught that controlling energy means repressing it, that conserving vital force is harmful, that it's natural to give in to every impulse. A convenient lie that keeps you weak, distracted, and easily manipulated. The truth is that energy mastery doesn't mean repressing impulses. It's about transforming raw energy into true power. It's about transforming the energy you normally waste in moments of weakness into weeks of unwavering focus, overflowing creativity, and magnetic charisma. In the next few minutes, I'll show you how your life force is, quite literally the same power that great spiritual masters use to reach extraordinary states of consciousness. Why do those who take steps to conserve energy report levels of motivation, clarity, and vitality that others consider superhuman? And how can you channel this energy naturally and powerfully, without repression or effort? This video isn't about religion or morality. It's about reclaiming control of your vital energy, ceasing to live on autopilot with impulsive and draining actions, and becoming the version of yourself that functions at 100% of its potential. If you feel you're living below your potential, unleash your true potential. Don't miss the end, because what you're about to discover could completely change your life in the next 24 hours. Before continuing, if you feel this content resonates deeply with you, subscribe now to the Neuroalchemy channel. Here we explore practical knowledge about energy mastery, applied neuroscience, and true transformation. This isn't just empty theory. These are tools that work in practice. Turn on notifications so you don't miss any videos. Now that we know there's a latent, untapped life force within you, we need to delve deeper. What exactly is this energy and how does it work? Imagine there's a reservoir of pure energy inside your body. It's not just about physical energy. It's something much deeper. It's the force that makes your heart beat without you even thinking about it, that heals wounds while you sleep, that makes creative ideas spring up out of nowhere, that gives you that feeling of flow when everything falls perfectly into place. In traditional Chinese medicine, this is called Jing, your vital essence, the primordial fuel of life. In ancient yoga, it is prana, the life force that animates all living beings. Medieval alchemists called it the inner fire, the sacred flame that transforms lead into gold. Not literally, but metaphorically. It transforms ordinary people into extraordinary beings. And modern science has now discovered what fully confirms this ancient wisdom. In 2003, researchers at Jiang University in China conducted a fascinating study in which they measured men's testosterone levels during sexual abstinence. The result was surprising. After just 7 days, testosterone levels had increased by 145.7% compared to baseline. This increase was not gradual. The peak was especially dramatic on the 7th day. But testosterone is just the tip of the iceberg. When you conserve your energy instead of constantly burning it off, something significant happens in your nervous system. Your dopamine receptors begin to self-regulate. You know that feeling of never being satisfied, of always needing the next stimulus, the next distraction. This is a dopaminergic dysregulation caused by a vicious cycle of instant gratification. Dr. Andrew Huberman, a neuroscientist at Stanford University, explains that compulsive behavior, especially that which seeks rapid sexual gratification, generates artificial dopamine spikes that desensitize the receptors. Over time, increasingly intense stimuli are needed to experience the same level of satisfaction. It works like any other addiction. The pleasure threshold increases, but the capacity to experience natural satisfaction decreases. And here's the interesting part. When this cycle is broken and energy is restored, the dopamine receptors regenerate. Natural sensitivity returns. Suddenly, the simplest things bring you genuine joy again. A walk, a deep conversation, a creative project. You regain the capacity to experience true satisfaction, not just fleeting euphoria followed by a profound emptiness. But the change goes far beyond the neurochemical aspect. There is something the ancient masters knew, and that science is only now beginning to understand. This vital energy, if conserved and consciously directed, can be channeled into all areas of life. The Taurians developed entire practices around this concept. They believed that sexual energy, Jing, is the most potent form of our vital energy. If wasted through frequent and uncontrollable ejaculation, it dissipates. However, if conserved, it can be transformed and empowered through the body's energy centers. In yoga, this process is described as the awakening of the chakras. These are the spiral energy centers located at the base of the spine, which, when activated, rise through the chakras, cleansing and energizing each center as they go. You don't need to believe in chakras to feel the effect. The experience is real regardless of how you interpret it. Men who practice sienna color retention for extended periods report similar patterns. In the first 2 weeks, they experience a significant increase in their physical and mental energy. After 30 days, they experience profound mental clarity and exceptional concentration. After 60 or 90 days, many describe a feeling of personal radiance, as if their presence has become more intense and palpable. This isn't a placebo effect. It's the tangible result of living with peak energy instead of being constantly drained. Imagine it this way. You have an internal battery with 100% capacity. Most people live with only 20–40% charge because they constantly waste energy through unconscious habits. They never experience what it's like to function at peak performance. They never feel what it's like to have all their vital energy available, focused and directed toward their goals. We're not just talking about sexual energy. We're talking about the overall conservation of energy. Where you focus your attention, how you spend your time, what stimuli you receive, what thoughts you harbor. All of this consumes or conserves your vital energy. But sexual energy is particularly powerful because it acts simultaneously on a biological, psychological, and spiritual level. It is the only force in the human body capable of creating life. Imagine the power it holds. The same energy that can give life to a new human being is available for you to shape your life, your work, your art, your mission. The greatest geniuses in history understood this intuitively. Nikola Tesla lived in celibacy and claimed it enhanced his mental abilities. Steve Jobs explored tantric practices based on energy storage. Muhammad Ali practiced sexual abstinence in his youth. When you store this energy instead of dissipating it, it doesn't disappear. It accumulates. It intensifies and seeks to express itself in other ways. If not consciously channeled, It can cause anxiety and restlessness. But if you learn to transform it into creativity, focused work, intense physical exercise, or deep meditation, it becomes a pure source of energy for everything you do. It's like taking a fire hose and concentrating all the pressure on a single point. Concentrated energy is infinitely stronger than dispersed energy. So what happens when we unconsciously waste this energy? The answer isn't just a loss of energy. It's much more serious. We fall into a state of chronic energy weakness that affects literally every aspect of our lives. And the worst part is that it happens so gradually that you only realize it when you're completely exhausted. Let's be honest about how this manifests in practice. First, you experience mental fragmentation. Your ability to concentrate deeply diminishes. You live in a constant state of superficial attention, jumping from one distraction to another, and unable to engage with anything for more than a few minutes. Your mind becomes like a browser, with 47 tabs open, all slowly loading and none working. This isn't laziness. It's not a lack of discipline. It's a true drain on energy. When you constantly squander your vital energy on compulsive habits, your nervous system goes into survival mode. There isn't enough energy available to maintain optimal performance. Therefore, your brain puts you into a kind of permanent energy-saving mode. Neurologically speaking, this is what happens. Every time you seek instant gratification, whether through pornography, social media, junk food, or other extreme stimuli, you generate an artificial dopamine surge. Your brain isn't designed to handle such high levels of stimulation. In nature, dopamine is released when we find food, a mate, or achieve something significant. Today, simply scrolling through your Instagram feed can trigger up to 50 dopamine spikes before lunch. The problem is that the brain needs these artificial levels of stimulation to function properly. Everyday activities, a deep conversation, reading a book, working on a creative project, none of these release enough dopamine to satisfy us anymore. Dr. Anna LMK, professor of psychiatry at Stanford University and author of Dopamine Nation, speaks of an era of catastrophic overabundance. We have unlimited access to stimuli that our brains interpret as rewards, but this literally destroys our natural motivation system. Secondly, it causes hormonal imbalances. And on this point, the science is clear. A 2013 study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association, JAMA, examined men who regularly consumed pornography. The results showed a significant decrease in gray matter volume in the right prefrontal cortex, the brain region responsible for decision-making, impulse control, and future planning. It's no coincidence that you perceive these same abilities as diminished. Even more alarming is that studies show that frequent cycles of artificial sexual arousal followed by ejaculation can completely desensitize your reward system. You develop what neuroscientists call hypoproactive behavior, meaning significantly reduced activity in the frontal lobe. It's the same brain pattern seen in severe addictions. Third, and perhaps most devastating, charisma is lost. This can't be measured in a lab, but we all perceive it instinctively. There are people who walk into a room and you simply feel their presence. It's not about their appearance. It's not about what they say. It's an energetic quality you perceive before every interaction. This quality, called days in Sanskrit, meaning something like inner radiance, is directly related to your energetic vitality. When your vitality reserves are replenished, you radiate light. People are drawn to you without understanding why. Opportunities arise. Connections form naturally. But if you suffer from chronic exhaustion, you become energetically invisible. Not literally, but in the sense that your presence has no effect. You walk into a room and no one notices you. You speak and your words fall on deaf ears. You're there, but you radiate nothing. Now let's connect all these dots to form a vicious cycle that you'll probably recognize. You wake up tired and lacking the energy to face the day. You look for quick fixes, too much coffee, endless scrolling through social media, even morning pornography. Anything to create that artificial feeling of energy. This gives you a brief high followed by an even bigger crash. During the day, you try to focus on work, but your mind is scattered. You can't concentrate and compensate with frantic multitasking that ultimately yields nothing of value. You're busy but not productive, active but not effective. At night, you're mentally exhausted, yet paradoxically restless. So you seek more stimulation to relax, more social media, endless series, perhaps more quick sexual gratification. The cycle closes, and with each turn one becomes energetically depleted. In the long run, men in this state develop what I call the ghost syndrome. They are physically present but energetically absent. Relationships become superficial because they lack the energy for deep connections. Careers stagnate because they lack the vitality for ambitious projects. Health deteriorates because there isn't enough vitality for the body's natural, regenerative processes, and therein lies the insidious part. One begins to normalize this state. One looks around and sees that everyone else seems just as exhausted, distracted, and distant. So one assumes that this is simply part of adult life. The idea that it's normal to be constantly tired, that it's realistic not to have the energy for your dreams, that it's acceptable to settle for mediocrity, is not normal. It's the result of an entire society living with a chronic lack of energy. And most people don't even know that a different life is possible. The good news, you don't have to stay in this state. Just as you gradually became trapped in this cycle, you can also consciously free yourself from it. And the first step doesn't require superhuman effort. It's simply a matter of recognizing your situation, identifying the pattern and visualizing the cycle clearly. Because only when you fully understand the problem can you begin to solve it systematically. And this resolution begins with the simple decision to stop wasting energy and, instead, consciously conserve it. If you find this content interesting, and it helps you recognize patterns you've sensed but never been able to identify, please like it. This not only tells me I'm on the right track, but it also ensures this content ranks higher in the algorithm and reaches others who need it. Because the more men who recognize this energetic reality, the stronger our community will be. Now we come to the most important point. How can this cycle be reversed and one's energy restored? The answer lies in a concept that medieval alchemists understood perfectly, but which modernity has completely forgotten: transmutation. It's not about repressing impulses or fighting against one's own nature. We're talking about consciously redirecting energy that would normally be wasted towards something that enriches you. Think of it like physics. Energy doesn't disappear, it only transforms. When you feel a strong sexual desire, which is pure energy inside you, you have two options. First, release that energy through immediate gratification. Experience a brief moment of pleasure, followed by hours of exhaustion and emptiness. Or consciously perceive this energy, accept it, and channel it into something that revitalizes you instead of draining you. Most people don't even consider this second option, as they've been conditioned to satisfy their impulses immediately. But here's the secret that will change everything for you. This impulse, this feeling of rising sexual energy, is precisely the power that great spiritual masters used to reach altered states of consciousness. It's the same energy that artists channeled to create masterpieces. It's the same fuel that entrepreneurs use to build empires. The difference lies not in the amount of energy you have, but in how you use it. So let's move on to the practical process, step by step, so you can implement this transformation in your daily life. The first step is conscious observation. As soon as you feel an impulse, whether it's sexual in nature or a desire for instant gratification, stop. Pause for 5 seconds. Don't judge the impulse. Don't resist it. Simply observe it. Feel where this energy resides in your body. Most often, you'll feel a sensation of warmth or pressure in the pelvic area, restlessness in the chest, or inner agitation. Acknowledge it. It's your life force manifesting. There's nothing wrong with it. It's pure energy seeking expression, and now you have the conscious choice of how to express this energy. The second step is conscious breathing. Once you've sensed the energy, begin to breathe consciously and deeply. Inhale through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold your breath for 4 seconds. Exhale through your mouth for 6 seconds. Repeat this at least 5 times. This isn't just about relaxing. You're directing your body's energy upward through your breath. The Taoists called it the circulation of the microcosmic orbit. Yogis call it pranayama. Ultimately, the name doesn't matter. Essentially, conscious breathing forms the link between conscious and involuntary control of the nervous system. Breathing in this way activates the vagus nerve, which calms the stress response and allows us to process energy instead of simply reacting to it. The third step is physical reorientation. Stagnant energy becomes tension. Energy in motion is transformed. That's why you should move immediately after the breathing exercise. You can do push-ups, brisk walking, dynamic stretches, or simply dance freely around the room. The important thing is not the type of movement, but rather distributing the energy concentrated in the pelvic area throughout the body through physical activity. When you do this, something extraordinary happens. The energy that previously felt like an urgent, desire-filled pressure transforms into overall vitality. You feel your body awaken, your mind clear, and your motivation increase. This is not a placebo effect. You have transformed sexual energy into creative and vital energy. The fourth step, and perhaps the most effective, is mental direction. After you've physically channeled the energy, you must give it a clear purpose. Take that energy you feel and visualize a specific goal. It could be the professional project you're working on, the solution to a problem you're facing, or your vision of the person you want to become. The most important thing is to consciously direct this vital energy towards something that will shape your future, rather than just easing your present. Visualize it in detail. Feel the satisfaction of achieving your goal. Let the energy you've saved fuel this vision. You are programming your subconscious with high-intensity energy. This is far more effective than ordinary visualization because it's performed in a state of heightened energy, not a neutral one. The entire process takes 5 to 10 minutes. Mindful observation, focused breathing, physical movement, mental alignment, 5 to 10 minutes. That make all the difference between wasting your vital energy and transforming it into true power. And here's what happens when you practice regularly. In the first 3 days, you'll feel more energetic. You'll wake up more rested and need less caffeine. Your body will start using the energy it normally wastes. Your mental clarity will improve significantly during the first week. You'll be able to concentrate for longer periods. Making decisions will become easier. Your thoughts will no longer wander constantly, as you'll finally have enough energy to focus deeply. After 2 weeks, those around you will notice a change in you. They won't be able to pinpoint exactly what has changed, but they'll perceive your energy differently. You'll look more balanced, confident, and charismatic. It's not your imagination. It's the tangible result of working with full energy instead of being constantly exhausted. After 30 days, you'll look back and barely recognize yourself. Your former self, who suffered from a chronic lack of energy, will seem like a sleepwalker. You will achieve a vitality and presence that most people never attain in their entire lives. The practice is simple. However, simple doesn't mean easy. It requires mindfulness and conscious choices. But every time you choose transformation over waste, you regenerate your nervous system, rebalance your hormones, and reconnect with your innate strength. In conclusion, this video highlights the importance of understanding that true change doesn't happen overnight, but rather begins with small conscious decisions. What you've learned here isn't mere theory, but an invitation to a new lifestyle where your vital energy is no longer wasted, but instead becomes the fuel for everything you want to build. By choosing to observe your impulses, breathe consciously, move your body, and direct your energy toward higher goals, you are taking the first steps to regain control.